Hello, today we will talk about the Müller MSP Backlock, which is this knife. I think this will be interesting because this knife is not as straightforward as it seems on first sight. So here with the knife I got this paper, it's actually a catalog, and you see this is all the offering from this company owned by Müller from Germany. So all the knives are designed in Germany but actually made in Italy, in Maniago I assume. So as you can see, there are only two folding knives and the rest are fixed blades. Here's a liner lock and a backlock. I chose this backlock over the liner lock for mainly one reason. I don't know if you can see it here on the picture. I really didn't like the blade on the liner lock. It's quite big, has really huge serrations. Not serrations, actually jimping on the back of the blade, but it looks like a saw blade on the back, which I really didn't like. So I chose to go with the backlock. Here, as you can see, is what I would call a modern take on a traditional folder. It doesn't come with a pocket clip even, so you can order a leather sheath for it, and this is what I did. About the pocket clip, I carefully studied this knife and compared it to the liner lock. The liner lock actually comes with a clip, but a knife of this weight, it's around 140 grams, is actually a bit too heavy, at least for me, to carry it on a clip. So I thought, when I don't carry it on a clip, I don't need a clip, so it's fine with me. There are several options for handle scales, mostly in G10, but I thought it would be a shame not to choose desert ironwood on such a knife. It looks really beautiful. The lock is here all the way back, really smooth, and you can open it with a pinch grip or with this hole. I thought this is an interesting feature. You don't see this on many knives, such a hole on the front. And here's the company symbol. And from the back you see why it's relatively heavy. A lot of steel liners, steel spring for the backlock. Let's talk about the handles first. You can see I just about can put all my four fingers. The last finger is a bit, not quite around the handle, but it's okay, I guess. And here in the front you have a finger guard a bit, and this front section of the blade is not sharp, so all the way up to here. So what you can actually do, you can choke up like this. It's not as comfortable as, say, the Spyderco Native 5. Here, as a comparison, they are quite similar in size, but the Spyderco has this genius, I would say, solution with this 60-40 finger choil here. So it fits perfectly, but nevertheless it's still workable here with this Müller knife. So this is it. And another comparison to the Böker Scout, another German knife. That's actually also made in Germany because it's from their Manufaktur series. So these are all made in Solingen. And the Scout is actually quite a bit heavier because as you can see, it has bolsters on the front and on the back lot of metal here, so it's even heavier than the Müller Backlock. The most interesting feature about this knife is the blade. No problems with the shape or the grind. Actually like it, some drop point design. But as you can see, maybe, yeah, here on the bottom it says CPM S90V, which is interesting because this is my only knife so far in S90V, and for people who don't know it, it's one of those so-called super steels. And yeah, but the interesting part is here in the catalog it says even it comes at 58 HRC hardness. So this is, for me at least, too low. Not in general for other knives steels or blade steels, but for S90V I would say it's quite low, because the main feature of S90V, at least in my imagination, is that it has really high wear resistance. But this high wear resistance comes only into play when it's hardened at higher HRC values. So I don't know exactly what, but beyond 60 HRC at least. So this is at 58. Why is that? Well, I have two ideas. One is that, as you can see in the catalog, all his knives come with S90V. So not only the folders but also the fixed blades. So I guess that maybe Reinhard Müller gets a batch of S90V and makes all and uses this for all his knives. So for fixed blades it's better to go on with lower HRC values, so that the knives wouldn't be too brittle. But unfortunately then you also have to use it, if you use the same batch, the same steel for the folders. I mean, in general I don't have a problem. It's not a performance knife or high performance knife like, I don't know, the Spyderco Native 5 and S110V is in a way the direct opposite of this knife, because it's not much about beauty or aesthetics or even the handles or anything. It's just about the blade. But here it's just a nice traditional folding knife, so you don't expect really high edge retention values from this. Another point is that I saw older videos on YouTube with reviews, and some reviewers, mostly from German YouTube channels, complained that S90V is too hard to sharpen. And with this knife you also get a nice letter, which is kind of a user guide. It's in German, so yeah, okay, I understand German, but for international customers it would be nice to have at least an English translation. But there are some general instructions for the use of this knife, which is meant for beginners, I would say, but still it's really nice. So, and in the beginning he talks about not to abuse this knife. So you can see from all of this that Reinhard Müller takes a relatively cautious or even conservative approach. So he doesn't want to abuse the knife, and so he doesn't over harden it, so it's not brittle, it won't chip that easily. And another indication is that here on the bottom it says that the edge angle is 22 degrees, which is quite wide for my liking. But this again shows that he wants to have a quite stable or robust edge. So if you're okay with this, it's nice, but yeah, I'm trying not to be a knife blade steel elitist, so I would have bought this knife even if it was in, let's say, N690. It would be perfectly fine, but okay, it's an S90V. The only thing that I will probably do is I will reprofile the edge, because 22 degrees is a bit too wide for my liking. Okay, that's it for now, and I will show you the results after reprofiling. Okay. Hello, I'm back after reprofiling, and as expected, it was not too hard due to the only 58 HRCs. I put an 18 degrees angle on the knife, which at least for me is a lot better than the original 22 degrees. So for now it's okay. Maybe after more testing I will change that again. Oh yeah, and one more thing. As you can see, the blade is relatively short, and here this section is unused, and in many modern knives the knife makers try to use the cutting edge all the way up to the handle, but Müller chose not to do that, which I actually liked in this case, because as you can see from the bottom, it's here quite wide, and especially for people who use some guided systems or something like that, it would be hard to sharpen or reprofile it. But here you have a clear line, so it's very clear where the edge is supposed to be, and it's easy to put it into a system where you can easily sharpen it then, instead of some other knives that don't care about these sharpening choils and stuff like that. So yeah, oops, come on, sharpen, focus, focus. Yeah, here we go. Okay, that's it. Thanks all.